Aha, me hearties! A very, very good evening to you. It's just me, Scottie McClue. Lovely to be with you and Dinky-Doo. I hope that you've had all the various things through. Numpty Heed says he's late again. You're always late, Numpty Heed. Hello there, says Tups for Hay. Hello, Tups for Hay. Lovely to have you with us. Lolita is there. Fantastic. It's never a good sign when I make a typo on my first comment. Listen, don't worry about it. We had a job there just getting the thing up at the last minute. So there we are. Professor Numpteed says Scotty will say it's us who are late. Well, if it is Numpteed, if the cap fits, I always say, you know what I mean? Hello, Scotty. Hello, Negan. Dinky-Doo. Lovely to have you with us and a very, very warm welcome. Ker's just joined us. Lisa's joined us. Dinky-Doo. And who else have we got? Can I join? You've joined. Fantastic. Sharon's with us. How lovely is that? And Kay McD. Scotty, have your opinion on women drivers changed? Well, I don't have so much to do with them now, so it's not so bad. But I still think there are differences in the way that women drive as opposed to men. So there you are. I tell you, good evening, Rocket Johnny. And who else we got? M. Koa says, I love you so much. You're very kind. Hello from the kingdom of the Gorbles, Scotty, says Glasgow Creeper. Glasgow Creeper, we love having you with us. And a big Dinky-Doo, I tell you. Can we have a shout out for Ella and Emily? You look like David Attenborough. Oh, thank you. I might do you my impersonation of David Attenborough. Nothing is stirring in this forgotten world, the frozen landscape, where only the bravest creature could exist. Then we see a small movement. It's the one occupant, the Arctic fox. Did you like that? Shout out to the boys of Castle Milk. Yes, indeed. Good evening, Mr. McClue, from beautiful Derbyshire. Much respect to you, Mr. McClue. Lots of prayers, and God bless you, sir. Thank you so much, Roy Michael. Dinky-Doo, I say, hail, cocker, says Danbo. That's actually accurate. Did you like that one? Love you, Scotty. Thank you, Gillian. Thoughts on Karur Estate? I've been there. Wonderful stuff. Karur Junction, and then you can walk to Loch Ossian. Did you know that? And so there we are. Not bad, Scotty boy. Did we like that with Mkoa? The wonderful Neil O'Gormley. Good evening, Scotty. Evening, Scotty. Dinky-Doo. New indoors. New windows. I tell you, that's what it's all about. So lovely to have everybody together. Captain Gamez has joined us, or is it Captain Games? Hello, Scottie McClue. Hello, Captain Games. Tell us where you're watching from, guys. And then we can get the chat going. Thank you, New Indoors. You've got the number 3 gifter badge. How lovely is that? I tell you. Now, we've also got congrats and thank you so much. New Indoors, what are you like? So very, very kind, everybody. Lovely to have you with us, and a big Dinky-Doo. What's happening, Neil? Are you singing tonight? How are the feet? We haven't had an update. Yes, I think you should give us an update. I tell you. Flighting Fish 990. Hello, Scotty. I've watched all the films you put up. Keep them coming, my dear friend. Flighting Fish, I'm so glad you like them. Oh, New Indoors, what are you like? You're so kind. My goodness me. Hello, Chief from Cumnook. Dinky-Doo to you, Scottie McClue from Big Lou in Partick. Dinky-Doo. I have stayed at Loch, just lost that there. I've stayed in the Bothy via Career Station and past Loch Steed. Great time. It's quite a walk, and there's nothing there. You get real peace and quiet. I was talking to a dear friend this week, and she was saying how difficult it is to just have silence, real silence. I tell you. Susan says Scotty Martin's mum passed away early yesterday morning. He messaged me and told me, we send Martin love. I tell you, Mr. McClue's a walking book of knowledge, very experienced with the world. Well, you see, I'm learning all the time, Roy Michael. Watching from Govan, it's a different place now, Scottie. Not as friendly as 30 years ago. I know. Yes, what was it like? Can anybody go back to the days when you didn't lock your door? Yes, I had a friend told me that, mind you, he got burgled. But, he used to say you could leave your door open. I think in these early days, people didn't have things worth nicking and people didn't covet the things, I tell you. Hello, Scottie, one and all, but Govan is such a fine part of the world, and its history of shipbuilding. I've worked in Govan. Hello, Scottie, one and all. Kareem, thank you. Glad you could join us. I tell you, Dinky-Doo to you, Mr. McClue. Hello, Scottie from Kirkcudbright. Celtic or Rangers? What a strange question. Why would you ever ask somebody Celtic or Rangers? Go and see them both play and make a decision. RWO Entertainment, Rick's here. Hello, Scottie. Hope you're well, my awesome friend. Unfortunately, I've injured my right arm. Rick, you must be careful because you're a musician. Hello, Dinky-Doo. They're reopening the Lyceum into sort of hub things as flighting fish. Well, wonderful. They've reopened the Gorbals Theatre. Yes, it's wonderful. I remember going to the Gorbals. I can remember when it was still the windows said the Royal Princesses Theatre, Harry McKelvey. But James Bridie had taken over for the Citizens Theatre Company. Roddy Macmillan and Johnny Grieve and all these wonderful people. Scottie, would you not do a live tour of Scotland? Ian, do you think there would be an appetite for that? You support either Celtic or Rangers depending on where you live in Glasgow. But unfortunately, it doesn't work that way in most fans. Well, Amy, why is he not saying, where do you live in Glasgow? To ask somebody Celtic or Rangers seems the most ridiculous question. I don't come up to somebody and go, Labour or Tory? That sort of idea. I'm not interested, Glasgow or Edinburgh? Scotland or England? Hello all, it's Benjamin here. Ben, Dinky-Doo. Oh, he's just given me a lovely fist bump there, Dinky-Doo. I say to you, McCluster, where have you been? I tell you, I've been here, Graham. Where have you been? There we are, silence. There we are, Gerard, absolutely silence. Fantastic. Hi, everybody, Dinky-Doo. Everybody's talking away to Susan there. That's good, because she's not been well, Morning, the Lord Duke of Dundee. This is Onion Baji from down under in Australia. We love it. Guys, everybody follow Scottie McClue. Everybody subscribe to Scottie McClue's YouTube channel. Yes, definitely, you're funny and we'd have good banter. Well, Ian, we would have good banter. I look at one or two modern comedians, so-called, no names, no pack drill, and it seems their act seems to be just saying swear words, and I don't quite understand that. I've never ever sworn in a live show in my puff. So there are Scottie, my sister, and her husband are on holiday in Lossiemouth. I enjoy your films. Best wishes from London. Peter Cooper, we love you in London. What part of Londinium are you in? Lossiemouth, I know it very, very well. It's an outstanding place, actually. And of course, our first Labour Prime Minister ever, nobody's ever come near him in the Labour Party. Oh, I don't know, Attlee did a bit of a job. Yes, I tell you. And maybe you could squeeze in Harold Wilson, but they thought he was a bit dodgy. Scottie supports Third Lanark. Franco, I still go to the games. Richard Tanner, how lovely to see you, you lovely, generous person. Come on, says Gerard. I know. Hulk says, my girlfriend left me, Scottie. Hulk, She needs her head looking. Why would she do that? Has she got problems of her own, I say? That's what I would reckon. So there we are. So tell us, we're always interested in a bit of Londinium. Huge, huge watching in America here, guys. And as you know, I'm a massive fan of Donald Trump. And I had to say, no names, no pack drill. But the dreadful behavior of media companies trying to see if they can find a chink in his armor. Absolutely not. Just stick with old Donald there. I'll tell you, he will do his stuff. As he uploaded the Bruce. People forget about these films. There have been 3 actors to play the Bruce. Yes, absolutely. I tell you. And the middle one and I studied together. Wonderful actor. So there you are. But no, I like to have that, even if some things look slightly minority, because I get absolutely nothing out of the YouTube channel financially. There we are. It's demonetized. So I can show you the movies. And yet we still get the complainers. Oh, the quality wasn't so good. Oh, shut up. I tell you, good evening, McClue. I hope you've enjoyed Magaluf. Specky, I was never in Magaluf. I can tell you that. I might have been up on the roof. So there were sense, says Flighting Fish. What can we do to get this planet back to the way it was, Scotty? We need a man with some that's not tuned to the moon. Donald Trump is your man. Trust me. There we are. The problem is that Bairns, this is a lovely Scottish saying, Bairns an idiot should never see a job half done. You're live on Scottish Phone In. Who's that?
Hello, Scotty. My name is Ian.
Kian, I've heard of you. How lovely to have you with us.
You've heard of me? How so?
Yes. Well, I think you used to respond to me on social media, unless you're another Kian.
Yes, I think it might be me. Yes.
Absolutely.
I won't say my last name, but I'm pretty sure it's me. Yes.
From Ireland? No. From Scotland?
From Ireland. From Ireland. Yeah.
From Ireland. Wonderful. We used to have some argy bargy.
We sure did. Back in the day. Just call on to ask how you are.
Just lovely to hear you, Kian. I like to know who I'm dealing with. Fantastic. And whereabouts in the Emerald Isle are you?
Oh, well, I'm not in Ireland right now. I'm visiting Scotland and visiting my grandmammy.
You're visiting your grandmammy. How lovely.
Yes,
Very good to hear you. Would you like to discuss anything with me?
I'll call you back with a topic. Let me go. I need to sift through them, I'll just call them right. I'll just call them right now just to check in on you,
It's
been a few years.
It's been far too long. Don't leave it so long next time.
Yes. Of course, I won't. All right, I'll see you in a little bit.
Dinky-Doo, Kian. Dinky-Doo, lad. There we are. Nice guy. Used to come on the social media from Ireland and RG Bargy. So there you go. Well, I don't like to be biased, Amy, but I think he's an exceptional Bruce. I really do. Scotty, what uni did you go to? Oh, Mr. Koa, you've been watching the shots. Wow. What a response we get. Is that 1,000 people joined us? I don't know. I can get to 1 million people a week, guys. So there you go. And that's why I send a lot of stuff round on your social media. What's the number, says Gerard? The number, Gerard, here we have it here, is 0141 628 9795. 0141 628 9795. Feel free to give us a call. Where did you get the miniature harmonica, Aris Park? The Honor Little Lady. There she is. Isn't that beautiful? It was my father's, and he had it sitting in a little shelf in his wardrobe. He bought it new. My father, I think, actually worked very, very hard. And I think as a child, he didn't have a lot of presents, and he bought himself a miniature harmonica. Oh, yes. You're live on Scottish Phone In. Who's that?
Scotty, it's Gerard. How you doing?
Gerard, how lovely to hear you, Lala. Are you fabulous?
Yes, I'm fabulous. I'm fabulous. Scotty, I've been following you since you were on the Wee Fat Bob show.
Yes,
Well,
that's a long time ago. And sadly, Wee Fat Bob's no longer with us.
bro, I heard that. And I'll tell you what, that was fantastic. That used to get me to sleep at night, Scotty.
The show.
Like, I could listen. Fantastic. Anyway, how are you doing yourself?
We're very well, actually. And you know, Gerard, it's amazing. I can't go past a day that somebody mentions the shows.
No, well, do you know what, Scotty? I've disagreed with a few of your views in the past. You've argued back, and I'm like, but hey, that's debate, and I like that.
I do not mind one bit. People get lost. We had a guy last week, and he said something about, he said, Trump doesn't know what he's doing. I said, Trump knows exactly what he's doing. He then responded, oh, you're bullying me now.
Well,
just because we pointed out the truth.
But I'll tell you what, SCOTTIE McCLUE, it's a pleasure to speak to you.
Lovely to hear you, Gerard. And listen, hashtag stay fabulous.
Hey, hashtag take it all the way.
Dinky-Doo, la la.
Dinky-Doo.
Fantastic. There we go. Some great characters out there, guys. I tell you. Now, who have we got here? I admire your confidence, sir. Plum Duff. It's not so much just confidence, it's checking everything out. Serious research, I tell you. Are we going to Clatty Pats tonight, Scotty? Specky of Clatty Pats. Remember Cleopatra's? Fantastic. Up the West End. You're live on Scottish phone in, is that?
Hello, Scotty. It's Tom.
Tom, how lovely to hear you.
Thomas.
Thomas.
I spoke to you before.
You've done what?
I spoke to you before in the past on one of the shows.
You have, absolutely, and it's lovely to hear you.
Yeah, what it is, and what I phoned you about, you know the Scottish Daily Record newspaper?
Yes.
There's an article in there about my dear beloved wife who passed away recently, yes? Stuck in a funeral home for a month.
Oh my goodness. I'm so sorry to hear that. I'm not going to take you down this road actually because I feel it's too much for you. So there we are. So we wouldn't actually comment on articles in newspapers. Try and keep, guys, when you come on, your information, but I'm so sorry to hear that you have had that problem. I tell you. Scotty, have you ever been to Rathlin Island? I'm from Islington North in London. I haven't been to Rathlin Island, but I hear great things. Oh my gosh, yeah. Hello, you're live on Scotty's phone in. Who's that?
Hello, my dad.
I think you've got the wrong number. So I tell you, I love tariffs, says America. Yep, fantastic. More tariffs, says I love tariffs. I tell you, he's right into the tariffs. Just stick with Big Donald. He knows exactly what he's doing, guys. I can tell you. And thank you. First time down south was Islington. Wow, Amanda. Dinky-Doo, I say to you. Guys, I'm sorry if I'm not getting to everyone's comments were just so busy. And as people used to make sure, I'm just myself, you know, I'm just on here myself. We are so busy, but it's fantastic. Lovely to have you with us. I tell you. Now then, who have we got here? Scotty, what uni did you go to? Oh, yes, we said that. We went to the best university in the world, to Glasgow. Yes, Glasgow University. I tell you. Now, who have we got here, guys? Whoa, busy tonight. Has everybody followed? Get following and subscribing. Very important. Now, what else is happening here? Mon the Rangers, says Connor. Yes, Mon. Yeah, Mon. Mon the Rangers. Mon now. Mon. And Mon the Celtic too. Mon the Perriers. Did you see I actually put up this week a piece of language, use. There's no such word as use. if you ever hear anybody say, I use would like that, go, half-witted idiot. As soon as you hear them say it, just shout out, half-witted idiot. And they'll think, oh, yeah, Scottie McClue listener. So they were, how you doing, bro? We're Magic Joe. Thank you for coming on. I tell you, Ben Soldier Boy says, I love you. Well, thank you, Ben. You're very, very kind. So there you are. I think maybe you love the shows more than just me. I am just the catalyst, guys. There we are. Say it back, please. Oh, Ben, that's a strange way to get a wee bit of somebody saying, I love you. How much do you love the Scottish heritage? So there you are. I love the Scottish heritage. I think it's very, very important. Aris Park says, I'm from the Isle of Mull. Are you from Tobermory? Are you from Tob? Yes, and Aris House used to be along from Tobermory, didn't it? Aris House. And now it's Aris Park. Yes, indeed. I tell you, we need more trade. We do need more trade. Oh, I Love Tariffs has retracted his massage. That's an interesting one. Whiskey Galore and Rockets Galore filmed on the same island. Great films on Barra. Yes, they were filmed on Barra. What people don't understand about Whiskey Galore, I spoke to somebody who was quite heavily involved at the time, sadly passed away now, and he said, well, there's a lot more to the story. It wasn't so charming. There was domestic violence. There was arrests. I'm from Blair Athol. I know Blair Athol very well. Yes, I'm from Tobermory. So you'll have Middle Bray and Back Bray and Prison Bray. And what other braes do we have? And then you've got the Western Isles up there and the Mishnish. Yes, indeed. And the old police station is at the community centre now. What are your thoughts on the Troubles? Which Troubles are you talking about? I tell you. So there you are. Scotland is beautiful, says Joe. Joe, I have to agree with you 100%. Guys, get following. Everybody should follow Scottie McClue. Get subscribing. I Love Tariff says, Trump is the man who will make the world great again. Part of the culture. Yes, indeed, John, but I'll tell you what I was hearing this week across social media. There's a new world coming, right? The agrarian revolution, taking us up to, say, about 1815, 1820. Then you had the Industrial Revolution for about 150 years. Coal, steel, bit of a moot point that at the moment, the old steel, coal, steel, all that sort of stuff. And apparently, we're now moving into another revolution, and all the negativity and all the evil and all these people will just fall away. From Les Mahago, move to Gairloch Head. That's quite a move from the Gow to the Gairloch. Are you near Clinder? There we are. Scottie, your films are the best. I watched the film VIP today. Excellent comedy. Peter, I watch it again too. And I'll tell you why I watch movies again. Because you see more that you didn't notice. Now, I remember watching Where Eagles Dare. And you know that when they all land, a couple of them get clobbered. And they've obviously got baddies among them. We know this. Don't want to give too much away. I tell you, Josh. Don't want to give too much away. But we wonder, how does the woman get to the shack? The woman that none of them know about. The part played by Major Schmidt. Major Schmidt, the part played by our wonderful man. There we go, Richard Burton. That wonderful voice. Broadsword calling Danny boy. There we are. I tell you, did you have any conserves on your toast this morning, mate? Just the raspberry. But you get a wee seed. As you get older, your teeth are wee gaps and trap the seeds, I tell you. Beautiful. The black currant, the black bramble jelly. That's my favourite. Have you been to Mull before? Many times, Iris. I went to Mull. I can remember just after the old Loughin Var was taken off. Was that 64? And you had the Columba. Who's this? Hello, you're live on Scottish Phone In. Who's that?
Good evening, Scotty. This is Top Sway.
Top Sway. Hey, Lala. How are you?
I'm good. I just had to phone up because, you know, the first thing that occurs to me and I phone Scotty, it's just as well I don't have your mobile number because I do that all
you'd
the
be on all
time.
the it stops right here again. Here's somebody promoting me, says, Christ, Scotty, I listened to you 40 years ago and you're still going strong. Of course.
But is he confusing you with the Messiah? I'm not
Yes,
sure.
he's calling me the Messiah. I'll have to enlighten him. There was a lovely guy from the outer islands, and he said, I was 14 before I realized my name wasn't Jesus Christ. Because everybody's going, oh, Jesus. You know, and then he said, and my brother, he was God. Oh, God. The father.
Oh, sorry, carry on.
No, I was just saying the father obviously had rechristened them, you know, given them the names of the Almighty. A touch of blasphemy there. And like the guy said, he said, my dad, he used to, when I was tiny, used to throw me up in the air and go out for a smoke.
Once again, this isn't what I phoned up about, but you've just inspired a memory.
Yes.
I had to do on several occasions surveillance on the Scottish Islands, and we went to Tiree once, and there was only one hire car for the entire island. So you're basically immediately everybody in Ireland knows.
Now I'll tell you, I've just this week uploaded rockets galore. There's Parkhead boy saying salute you, sir. We salute the Parkhead boy. And I've just uploaded rockets galore. I won't spoil the story, but have a wee look at the first bit of it. Is just what you're talking about.
All right. Well, I will have a look, but we're driving along, me and my neighbour that I'm working with. We've discussed why they're called neighbours and not partners. So the two of us are two up in this car, and the very first person we're driving along waves at us, and they're like, we're burnt already. We're already burnt. But then you realise when you're driving around the island, everybody just waves at everybody all the time. Everybody just waves.
Well, wasn't it the guy in the Welsh village when he went into the pub and said he was looking for somebody called Jones? They had an agent called Jones, and he said he was looking for Jones, and he said, is it Jones the butcher you're looking for? He said, no, it's another Jones. And he's nodding at the barman. And he said, so is it Jones the cobbler? Where he might. No, it's another Jones. And he went, oh, you want Jones the spy.
Yeah. The mission on that occasion wasn't entirely successful. I won't go into details because I haven't had nearly enough to think yet. But
absolutely.
What was really funny about is we need to get this sorted now. You're talking about Donald Trump and so on. Some of which I agree with, but it's not worth. It's just my opinion. I'll keep it to myself. But I think we need to, as you have mentioned several times, sell Scotland to America. Let's go for the Yankee dollar.
Well, last year, the halfwits don't realise it, but £88 billion came into Scotland. And I've been argy-bargying this. 88 billion we handed to Westminster. So everything that Westminster go, this is money we're giving to Scotland. It's just giving us our own pocket money back.
Well, I've got one of my neighbour friends is very active in Scottish nationalism, and he told me that the Scottish government has got a special higher tax rate that's only applicable in Scotland for higher earners, but that money doesn't get ring-fenced for Scotland, it simply gets sent to the HMRC for the entire UK. So people in Scotland, if you earn over, I think it's 65 grand, then you're paying more than you would in England, but it's not being spent in Scotland. It's simply being sent to the Exchequer.
That's right.
Crazy.
That's right. And it's also, they don't realise the royal family are virtually self-financing. So you've got the heir to the throne. He's got the Duchy of Cornwall, Prince William, and that'll be about 20-odd million comes in. And the same comes in from the Duchy of Lancaster, which is the king. So they, they've got, it costs you the same as a big bag of crisps every year to the royal family, but you get the half-wits on going, oh, parasites taking the money, and all this idiots that just don't understand how the world works.
Yeah, I mean, with the royal family, that is one of the ways that you and I diverge in our opinions, and mainly because I don't believe in the divine right of kings. I do not believe that that King Charles's ancestor was somehow divinely chosen for his bloodline to be the king, and that's really what it is.
Well, there's been a few things. Let's see if we can heal your rift-ups. Because
that would be nice.
Well, I think we need to heal your rift here. So don't rift while I'm talking.
Scotty, listen, if you're going to heal all the rifts in my psyche, I think we might be a lot longer than an hour.
You think so? You think so? But no, I'll wait till I tell you. What happened in 1320? Everybody, all your Scottish nationalists are loving going, that's when the people chose. Well, the people couldn't actually choose, but the representatives in those days, before they turned on them, were the nobles of Scotland. And they wrote to, because the Pope chose the king. So they wrote to the Pope and said, can we in Scotland choose our own king? And obviously they got an affirmative on that one. So that was effectively an election of the king. Now in 1306 you had got Robert de Bruce. It makes me laugh when people go, a royal family, are they no German? You say, well, Robert de Bruce was French. Mary Queen of Scots was virtually French. You know, King James II brought up in France. All that stuff, you know. King James II was King Billy's father-in-law. So it was a family feud that was going on. You know, all that nonsense. And there's 2 seconds. There's Ali McNeil from Bowmore in Isla. Kamaraha Ali, Hakamamaha, Falchi Falchi, Kida Milli Falchi, done TikTok, Agus YouTube. So there we are. So
oh my God.
Yes.
I thought your sound failed there. It sounded just like gibberish to me.
That's right. Yeah, that's it. That's Scottish Gaelic for you. So anyway, the problem that you have there, we'd elected the king, so the king's been elected, and then there was the change over when the Stuarts died out, but King Charles has got Stuart bloodlines. King Charles's grandfather was a direct descendant of Malcolm II. So there's huge connections there. The Electress of Hanover and all that kind of stuff. And then again, breaking with the whole thing. So 1688, Glorious Revolution, so-called. And they thought, we don't want the divine right of kings. We don't want absolute monarchy. We want the people to have a say. So, hey presto, Parliament invite King Billy over, and he says, yes, I'm going to be the king. And no, you're not listening, son. You're going to be doing what you're told. Oh, I do what I told? Yes, you're going to be doing what you're told. Now, your missus is King James's daughter. So you're tied in there. Now, we know you're on the other bus and that you're not saying to your missus, wink, wink, if you get the idea, but you will do what you're told. And King Billy then became the first constitutional monarch. So that, but he was a very dodgy character.
Yeah, anybody who tries to take you on this kind of topic, Scottie, is doomed to fail.
No. I mean, I'm just giving them the facts. I'm not pushing any agenda. You see, what the reason Scottie McClue has succeeded for 33 years or whatever it is because I have no agenda. So I don't come and go with the Tories or UKIP or Reform or the Liberals or the Labour. I don't come and go with any of these people. I look at the facts.
And to think that, over the years you have been variously described as a shock jock. Now that is absolute calumny.
I've never shocked anybody in my life except myself when I've passed a mirror.
But can you imagine somebody like Howard Stern, who's good, but can you imagine him having a working knowledge of the constitutional arrangements of the United States for the last 500 years? But that's what I was going to say. It's time we took the Yankee dollar because, and this does link into what you've been talking about, I would contend we are not an ally of the United States. We are a vassal state to the United States.
Well, actually, more than that, we are actually the mother and father of the United States.
Yeah, well, maybe, but the child has come back. Now we're infirm and in a care home, and the child has come back to raid our piggy banks.
Well, the child would love to be us. You see, this is the thing. Donald Trump, wonderful guy, but he does have a lot of respect for the concept of royalty. Now, I don't know if he will know this, but America, after 1776, War of Independence, wanted a monarchy, a king.
Oh.
And they approached, wait for the big one, they approached Charles Edward Stuart, the young pretender. And they asked him if he would become King of America. Now, at that point, he was drinking quite heavily. He wasn't terribly well with the gout. And that's right. So he might have been slurring his words at his inauguration, his coronation. But he also said, I'm older now. If I die, you may well have to content yourselves with the Hanoverian succession, who had been the kings of America, the Georges. You see, and they'd been the kings of America, and America wanted free of Britain. Surprise, surprise. And what have you. And that was your 1746, your General Wolfe at Quebec and all that stuff. And they're fighting. And then 1776, of course, your War of Independence and the rise of General Washington. And that was that. But the Scots are held in very high regard by the Americans. The Scots are very influential. We had Tartan Week last week, and they're all out there cheering and shouting. And, my grandfather was a MacDonald. Do you know them?
I know.
Bonnie Prince Charlie. And Bonnie Prince Charlie, you'll love this one, Tups. I might have told you before, but it's true. I knew an old guy, right, who wrote to an old guy whose grandfather, he was a Scottish aristocrat, his grandfather remembered Bonnie Prince Charlie walking about Rome. And I thought, as a Scottish aristocrat, he would have been in first name, so he'd have, aye, Charlie, aye, okay. Are you fancying a wee hoff? Well, it's a wee bit early for me, Charlie, but I'll come and chummy you at the bar. This sort of stuff. And Charlie's tomb is in the Vatican, in the Basilica. And he's King Carlos. And when it was needing done up, and I was talking to a friend one day, he said, I'm going to Rome next week. I said, you couldn't do me a big favor. Could you get me a photo of Prince Charles's tomb? And he went, yes, of course. And he came back with it on his phone.
Oh well, I've been to Rome. I've been to Italy a few times, and I've been to the Vatican, but I was not aware of that historical fact.
He's buried in the Vatican. Charles Edward Stuart, buried in the Vatican, because I mean they all got hunted out after it. And as for your Battle of the Boyne, you know, the orange people were wearing green, and they all should just have run away. It was a skirmish,
right?
You know?
Right.
And it was.
I don't think I would have thrived in the old days unless I was a landed gentleman. Now that kind of lifestyle would really suit me. But see the guys that have to wear the battle armor and go in and get their limbs cut off, that would really
Of course, in the day it was your landed gentlemen, your knights that that did the battling, and then they sort of withdrew a bit, you know, and thought, I think we'll get, it's a wee bit dangerous here, you know, a wee bit hot. Especially, see, warfare tops changed, and it changed at the start of the First World War, and up until then, the British were still thinking, let's keep practicing our cavalry charge. Draw your sabers and let's charge, and they went thundering in. But the machine gun had come in. And the machine gun is very bad for horses and men mounted on them. And there's a lovely, have you ever heard of a movie called War Horse?
Oh, I've heard of it. I haven't seen it.
Outstanding. Peter Mullen, outstanding. Outstanding. And anyway, I won't spoil it, but one of the scenes, the British charged the German camp in a full charge. And then they pull back the tents, and there are the machine guns. Now, they don't use them right away, but out comes a German officer, and he says to all these British officers, what do you think you're doing? Who do you think you are? And I thought, wow, who do you think you are? So all the English nobility as cavalry officers. Yes, I mean, my grandfather was a cavalryman. He fought at Gallipoli in 1915.
Yeah, wow.
You know, I've got a picture of him on his horse here. And the whole thing about that, it suddenly hits you. Warfare has changed. Could you imagine Bannockburn if a squadron of Spitfires had come over and strafed them?
Yeah. There's a film I saw when I was a kid called The Final Countdown, and it's, you remember the Bermuda Triangle was really big in the late 70s?
Yes.
Myths about planes and ships disappearing. But this was a film with Kirk Douglas, and he was the commander of a United States modern aircraft carrier that gets sucked through the Bermuda Triangle to just before Pearl Harbor. So he's got a 20th century, nuclear-powered aircraft carrier. You should look that up for your movie channel, actually, because it's probably available to stream on YouTube. It's not a great film, but it's quite interesting about the moral dilemma of being back in time and the ability to completely stop Pearl Harbor happening, and the ramifications of changing history. And so I'm making it sound a bit more intelligent than it is, but it's a decent film. But I think it will be on YouTube. You could have a look at it. You make everything sound intelligent. There's a gentleman here says over 1 million horses were killed in the First World War. Wow, yeah, man. Were they still? Oh no, the First World War they weren't wearing red, but I know they were wearing red for quite a. Well,
the Boer War put a stop to that because they were picking them off in the red uniforms. You know, you had the Zulu battles in the 1850s, 1857, the Impi, and all that sort of stuff. And then, when they were going out to fight the Boer War, you could spot the red jackets up the, so they put on the khaki as camouflage with the sand.
Well, that's this British, and it's noble, but it's a bit misplaced that even my father had in, the 1990s, that somehow being British with a British passport is like a deflector shield. I remember he took us to South Central LA in the early 90s, and that's the absolute headquarters of the gang wars. He was looking for a discount warehouse that sold trainers for for a discount price. And so there's this entirely white family. My father was about 23 stone and 6'3", wearing a Hawaiian shirt, and we're driving a big white Lincoln Town car. And we're driving through this neighbourhood in Central LA, and my dad stops, oh, look, and there's cops doing an actual bust at a door, and they've got their weapons drawn, and we're about 20 yards away from it. My dad stops to look. And I had to point out, Dad, are you aware that bullets travel on a straight line? He said, get us out of here right now.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, Tops, an absolute joy talking to you as always. And we will have a catch-up. Wonderful stuff, by the way. Amazing. You know, still, when you look at the British police up until relatively recently, I had uncles in the police, and they had a checkered bonnet and a little baton in their pocket about, well, I don't know, about maybe 12, 14 inches. I can't remember how long a police baton was, and a whistle. And that was it. And the thing is, I noticed these. Have you ever come across these? They're so-called auditors. And they go cheeking up to the police, flying drones and things. Now, they're legal to fly the drones. And they annoy the police with it. And the police, obviously, they aren't up with drone law. I wish the police would just memo each other and say, listen, just ignore these guys, by the way.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what they should be doing. And these guys cheeking up now, see, in days gone by, they would have been invited into the back of the police van for a chat.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing, when police had actual authority, because they were all really tall and they had authority and they were big, and they were, a lot of them were over 50. Nowadays, the cops can retire at 50 years old. In my opinion, that's just when you start to know what you're doing as a cop, and they're allowed to retire then.
Well, I knew a Highland policeman on his bike, and he got some kids misbehaving or vandalizing something one night. I don't think they were doing any great harm at all, to be honest. And he said, to them, right, this was his little game. He said, all of you just wait there till I go back to the police station and get my notebook and come back and take your names, right? Anyway, the thing is, he cycled past half an hour later, expecting them to have skedaddled, and they were all still standing there waiting.
Now that's the power of command. That's what that is. You stay there and they stay there. Well, I'll let you go, Scotty, so you can deal with other business. But it's a genuine pleasure, as always.
Always a privilege for me, and a great pleasure. And you take care of your dear self.
Yeah, you too, man. See you.
Dinky-Doo la. There we are. Bye-bye. That's our Tops were here. Now, what a fine fellow. Excellent. Right. Now, what have we got here? Let's concentrate on all your wonderful stuff here. Long calls tonight. Good calls tonight. Great show tonight, guys. This is quality chat. Right. Amy says, oh, yes, we got that one. I love tariffs. Yes, we got that as well. We got back to that. And Rutland Island, we got to that. Now, should Prince William get a hair transplant? John Doe, the man's genuine. That's, I'm trying to think what age Prince William will be now. Will he be about 44, 45? Something like that. So there you go. I mean, I could do with a hair transplant myself. John Doe says it's all part of the culture. Trump is the man who will make the world great again. Yes, he will. And he will deal with the detritus of the world, the people that have been stealing money from the taxpayers. Have you noticed he's going to come down on them? We really could do with Trump over here, I say. It would be so refreshing. And there was Tops saying he should buy Scotland. But what would the price be if we bring in 88 billion a year? Right? That's why they won't let Scotland go independent. It panics them. There were Aris is saying, have you got any friends in Mull, Scotty? Yes, I do. I have spent so many wonderful holidays in Mull. That's what I was going to tell you. So the Columba was new in 1964. And she went to Craignewer for the new pier. And I went for my holidays in 1965. So what's that? Is that 60 years ago? Wow. Wow. It's as if it was yesterday. It was lovely. I tell you. Scottie, any advice on how I can get a job in radio? Yes. There will be slightly less jobs in radio now because a lot of it's wallpaper and jukebox. There's not so many openings for personalities, but get yourself a little demonstration. You don't need any tapes or anything like that, just a little file, and email it to the programmer. And a nice little short introduction of yourself, not too much blowhard. You go in and you start, and without doubt, the people that have started like this, runners, making the tea, running and getting the weather for the news team, all that stuff, they want to be on the wireless, and they will be. I can tell you. I mean, I had my first radio station when I was 9. We built one. Faskava, Scottie, says Sorsa. I tell you, lovely to have you with us, and DINKY-DOO. Also here, it's always good to chat between you and Scottie, says Susan. Always good chat. Thank you. Janet, talks for here, you and Scottie bounce off each other. You make me laugh when you both start laughing. Top says, Susan, I always feel a bit guilty for hogging the chat, but it just takes on a life of its own. Tops, of course. This is what it's all about. I tell you. I saw a video on YouTube recently. A guy had a drone. He wanted to fly it from, and he mentions a theme park, and they wouldn't let him, said it was private property. Drone guy said, you don't own the sky. Well, he's right in a way. You know, I mean, the drone guy's actually right, but they waste a lot of police time, argy-barging, and a lot of them are quite cheeky. They go, oh yeah, go on with your job, you muppet, and to the police. No, we should have laws that you never, ever disrespect the police. Because we're paying for the police at huge expense. And they do a wonderful and a very difficult job. I know we've had the odd bad apple in the barrel and some terrible consequences, but it's true. 43, William is. What did I say, Amy? 44, 45? A couple of years out. I do apologize. So there we are. It should be the Scottie and Tops. It should Tops right here. It should be Scottie and Tops right here show. Well, Susan, yes, we've talked about that. I agree, says Janet. It's wonderful. There we go. No, Tops just went because we just want to run through all the comments and see how many of your comments we can get in here. I tell you. Hello from Moffat. We love Moffat. The royal family will be tariffed then. Well, no, why would you tariff them? Do you remember me, says Zach. Yes, Zach. Lovely to hear from you. And DINKY-DOO. I say to you, what time of, oh my goodness me, look at the time. I can't believe it. The best sweet shop in Scotland, Don't Safonda. I can taste it right now, the Moffat toffee. That sort of lovely humbuggy taste. And you always buy, you don't just buy Moffat toffee. Come on, let's have it straight. You appraise yourself of the other goodies on offer. And the old machine that makes it, am I not right? You can turn out the toffee machine and it makes it. And you get your wee bag, your wee poke, a poke of sweeties, a wee poke of sweeties. Gonna get a poke of sweeties for my wee grandson. Thank you. We used to get 2 ounces of sour plums. I tell you. What have we got here? Tops, I wonder if that would have changed the old surveillance, the drones. It's a Tupperware party with Scottie at Tupsway. Oh, Tupperware, amazing. Is it still going? My mother once had a Tupperware party. Very good. You put your sannies in the wee boxes. Did you like Oddfellows, Scottie? Very peculiar taste when I tried them. Now, were Oddfellows not from Wishaw? They had a very peculiar taste, a sort of aniseedy taste. Very nice, though. And Pan Drops. There we are. Mary Lung has just joined us. Hello. How is everyone? Mary, lovely to have you with us. And Dinky-Doo, I say. Good evening, everyone. Scotty, love you, big son. Sheffield Wednesday FC. How lovely to have you with us. As you know, I used to broadcast Herries Road, just across the road from you. King's Factory in Wishaw. It's gone now. What a shame. Scottish Sweets. Lovely, lovely. And the Buchanan's Toffees. Very nice. Fuller's Lollipops. And remember them. Yes, the liquors, all sorts and that. Now, the Barrett factory was near to where I worked. I think it was in Sheffield. Was that right? You can smell the sugar. It's gorgeous. Oh, stop. Janet says, I'm a Sassenach. I just had my DNA done and found out I'm 69% Scottish. Well, you're no Sassenach. You're probably about 49% more Scottish than most Scots. There was a guy once told me he was 100% pure English. Turned out he was 65% Argentinian. He did a wee spittle in a cup. It's been a great show tonight, says Susan. Thank you, Susan. I think so. The people are beautiful. Guys, have we all subscribed? If you've subscribed on the YouTube channel and followed, I bet you a lot of you have been watching without following. Right. I need 100 followers right now. Get up to the top left and click the follow. As many of you as possibly can in the next 2 minutes. And then we're going to have to go. Oh, I can't believe we're out of time. I must talk with you about rural surveillance sometimes. It's vexing, says Tops. We love that. Mary Lung says, my granny was Scottish. Well, you wouldn't have been able to shove her off the bus. Tulsa says, apologies for the extra XX. Oh, we thought it was a couple of kisses. You've upset me now. Right. I think we're going to have to go quite soon, though. I'm just seeing the time. Would you like, guys, follow me. Go up to the top left and follow me. That's what to do. Let's see how many of you can follow within the next few seconds. Right? And just say, I am following Scottie McClue. Something everybody should do. Yes. My keyboard's wrong. Good night, Scotty. Good night, Susan. Dinky-Doo. Good night, Tuts for Hay and Numpty Shit. Forrest or Elgin. Both of them. We love them. Forrest and Elgin. Right, wait a minute. Okay, that's lovely. Guys, I'm going to have to go soon. And I'm going to have to say to you, beautiful people, I love you so much. And Dinky-Doo. So there we go. Fantastic. Now then, good night, Scotty. Thank you. Good night, Janet. Dinky-Doo. Top show, Scotty. Thanks. Top show, Tops and Dinky-Doo to every single one of you. Thank you for being so fabulous tonight. It's been an absolute blast. Night to you. I'm going to put up night, Susan. Numpty. Bit quiet tonight. Numpty's just come out of the shadows, guys. Night, Susan. Night, everybody. Dinky-Doo. Stick out your tongue and say ta-ta. Have a time for the, yes, I've just got time for the goodbye song. Join in. Right, here we go. It's afternoon here, says Mary. Where are you, Mary? Tell us where you are in the afternoon. Right, are we ready? The goodbye song after 2, 2. Goodbye, everybody, goodbye. Take care, everybody, as you go. Goodbye, everybody. Auf Wiedersehen, au revoir, and a cheerio. Dinky-Doo, everybody, stick out your tongue and say ta-ta. Papa. Once more. Papa.